Hold it right there. Here, hold your head up like this. Sort of cradle it, like that. Put your hand in here, like you would. There. Now you look natural. Remember the last time I took you to daguerreotype? Back in the Nations?
I think so. Of course, I was just a kid then.
Yep. You were just a little one. Grown a lot since. Sure have. I guess it was a while back, but to me, it's just yesterday. It don't seem too long since they took your ma and pa's wedding picture.
Ah, it's a day I won't forget.
You two sure made a pretty picture.
Something wrong, Abel?
This blame hinge won't stay fixed to keep the slide from sliding. Just have to put a new one on, I'm afraid.
It's all right. Mark and I have got some buying to do. Come on, son. Is it all right if we come back later?
It's them. I knew the day would come.
Here, what's got into you, Abel? Let me have that gun.
Give it to me. I'm going to kill them.
Now, get hold of yourself, man.
You know who they are?
Well, I've seen them around. They're buying a ranch outside town.
It's Colonel Jess Whiteside and his orderly, Bart Jameson. Filthy butchers.
Butchers?
That's right. They ran a prison camp, the vilest hole this side of Hades.
The war's over, Abel.
You can say that, Luke, but I lived a year under those vultures.
Over and done with a long time ago.
Oh, no, those two are butchers. I give you my word, Luke, I'm going to kill them. I've waited years for the chance, and now I'm going to kill them. I'm going to kill them.
It's him.
You sure?
I said it was. See for yourself.
No, I take your word for it.
I thought I recognized him when we came out of the bank. I wasn't sure.
Times have changed. Maybe Goss has changed, too.
Are you forgetting he swore to kill me? He screamed to just stay alive so he could put a bullet through my head.
And you laughed at him because you didn't think he was going to last through the night.
Well, that was just a slight miscalculation. We'll have to correct it.
The devil take Goss. I'm for getting out of here as soon as it's dark.
Well, the deal here is just too good. You know, you never worried about Goss in prison. Why the sudden change?
When I lay down at night, I see faces in the dark. I don't even know who they are, but I can tell from the way they look at me that I killed them. First, it was a war, and killing was something you were supposed to do. But that's been over a long time, and we're still at it. Only we're not soldiers anymore.
You're drunk. You're getting drunker.
Gus knows that they'll hang him if he tries to shoot you in cold blood. He wouldn't do it.
And if you're wrong, you'll do as I say. You always have, and you always will.
I always have. I always will.
That's right. Now, you'll have a clear shot in the window here. I'll get on and draw him out. Make sure his gun is in his hand, so everything will look legal. And, don't wait too long. Mark, I'm going over to talk to Judge Hanneman. Why don't you go down and see if Abel's ready to take your picture now, huh?
Sure will.
And ask him to come out to the ranch for dinner tonight, will you?
Yes, Paul. Paul says for me and you to try again and for you to come for dinner at the ranch.
That sounds like a pretty fair deal all around. You just put this 4-base back till you find some better use for it.
Thanks.
Remember, when you get in front of that camera, you kind of act like you just heard school let out for a couple of days.
Judge.
Oh, hello, Luke. What can I do for you?
I'd like to talk to you about something. That fellow who just walked out of here and his friend. They're staying here? I understand they're buying the Big Spring Ranch. What do you know about them?
Oh, not too much. They seem all right. Why?
I was just wondering.
Put your head back where you had it. That's it, your hand here. Now get all through your fidgeting, because when I say so, you got to hold still for 5 seconds. Well, where's that smile? You call that a smile? You look like you bit into a lemon. That's better. That's it. Hey, hold it just like that while I set the trigger. Ready? That's it. Now, just the way you are. Yeah. Take a deep breath. Pull your chest up. That's it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Where's the smile? 4, 5. It's over. Here we are. Now I just put this plate through the processing, and then by and by we'll see how you look.
Goss!
Run for cover, Mark. Get.
Abel, you must be out of your mind. I didn't believe you meant it.
It was self-defense, Luke. I swear. He called me out and made the play.
Mister, I'll take the gun.
He fired first. It was self-defense, Marshal.
There are 2 empty shells in the chamber.
I shot a rattler on the way in this morning.
Can you prove that?
I missed him.
Come on.
Paul?
Mark, you all right?
Yeah, but why are
Did
they...
you see what happened?
Well, Mr. Goss said to duck, so I dove under the wagon.
Did you see any of the shooting?
Well, I saw Colonel Whiteside when he called him Mr. Gus, but what are they
Now
doing?
listen to me, Mark. Did you see the colonel draw his gun?
Well, I told you I dove under the wagon. But why are they taking...
All right, son, never mind. Wait for me by the horses.
Well, can't I go with you?
No, go on, go on.
He never drew.
I tell you, he fired first.
How come his gun is still holstered?
His bullet just missed me. I felt it.
This man was shot in the back. I'm taking you in for murder.
Where are you taking him, Marshal?
To jail until his trial.
That seems like a waste of time, but I suppose you have to do it.
What makes you so interested in this?
The Colonel, Mr. Whiteside and I were arranging a deal here.
Oh, you're Jameson.
That's right.
You see the shooting?
No, I didn't have to. I know what kind of a man Goss is.
You'll get a chance to tell all that at the trial. Lucas, have a couple of men look after the body. It's to be held for Doc to examine.
Don't let me down, Luke.
Got a visitor.
Luke,
Abel?
make yourself at home. What's mine's yours.
Call when you're ready, Lucas.
Thanks, Luke. I knew I could count on you.
Count on me for what?
Why, to say I didn't shoot the varmint.
Well, maybe it's my fault. I shouldn't have given you back the gun.
You think I killed him? In cold blood?
Well, Abel, you told me straight out you were going to kill him. Not an hour later, I as much as saw you do it.
Well, I swear to heaven, Luke. Whiteside called me out and started the play. Why, his slug came so close to my head I could feel the wind of it.
You actually saw Whiteside draw and fire at you?
Well, practically. He was in the street set to draw. I turned to yell at Mark, and when I was turned, he fired. I fired right back without waiting to do any gawking.
Abel, you tell the whole truth in court, and I think you'll get off pretty good. Leastwise, they won't hang you.
I just told you the truth.
No, I mean about what they did to you in prison. Tell them everything. The jury will understand what that can do to a man. They'll be lenient.
No, I'll tell him just what I told you. Nothing about the prison camp. That'll only make them think I did it.
Abel, I wish I could believe you, but from where I'm sitting, it just doesn't look that
Mark
way.
feel the same way?
No, he doesn't, but he didn't see what I did. Besides, he's a young boy and he took a liking to you.
Well, I feel the same way about him. He's grown up to have fine qualities, like his mother.
Abel, it's because I hold you very warm that I'm advising to tell about the torture in a prison. I can back you up on that story.
Tell Mark I'm thankful to him for believing in me.
I'll do that. Micah?
What's going to happen to him, Paul?
It'll be up to the jury, son.
Will they hang him?
They might.
Well, can't you do anything to help him?
The best thing I can do is leave town right now.
Well, how come, Paul?
Because it's my testimony that could hang him.
So all be seated, remain quiet until the court orders a recess. Now, there'll be no smoking, chewing, or any other use of tobacco during the course of this trial. This court is now in session. In the absence of any legally qualified counsel for either the prosecution or the defense, the court will call witnesses and hear testimony. Anyone wishing to give evidence will have an opportunity to do so. Abel Goss, will you rise, please? You are charged with the murder of Colonel Jess Whiteside. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
The plea is not guilty. The trial is now begun. Will Lucas McCain take the witness stand, please? Will you place your right hand on the Bible there? Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this case, the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Now be seated. Mr. McCain, will you tell the court in your own words what you saw at the time of the shooting?
Well, I was in the Madera house talking to the judge, and I heard a shot at another one.
Did you see the defendant then?
Yes, I did.
Describe what you saw.
He was standing at the back of his wagon with a gun in his hand.
Where was the victim?
He was lying face down on the street.
Mr. McCain, do you know the defendant personally?
Yes, I do. Abel Goss is my friend. He has been for many years.
Did the defendant, to your knowledge, ever threaten the victim?
Yes.
In what way?
He told me he was going to kill him.
Was his reason for saying this because he feared the victim might kill him first?
No.
What was the reason? Mr. McCain, you're instructed to answer the question.
Goss was a prisoner of war under Whiteside. He threatened to get even because of the cruel and brutal treatment he was subjected to at the hands of the colonel.
Anything you wish to add to your testimony, Mr. McCain?
No, sir.
Then you're dismissed. Will Bart Jameson take the stand, please?
Oh, let's leave for a second.
What for, son?
I gotta talk to you. It's important.
All
right, come on.
The whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. Now, will you tell the court of your relationship with the victim?
The colonel and I were business partners. We invested $10,000 to buy the Big Spring Ranch near here.
Did you see any part of the shooting?
No, I was in our hotel room at the time. I was going over some figures for the ranch. Then I heard the shots. I came down the stairs out into the street, but it was too late.
I know what's troubling you, Mark. But I said what I had to.
But you made it sound like you did it.
That's the way I saw it.
You're wrong. You just don't know.
Now listen to me, Mark. The jury will do the final deciding. I know what I heard and saw, and you're not going to tell me different.
Well, maybe you just didn't see so good.
I could see where you and I better do some serious talking tonight.
Does that mean that you don't want me telling my side in court?
No, I didn't say that, son.
What I saw and heard doesn't seem to be the same thing that you saw and heard. I'll be getting up in front of everybody and talking against you, Paul.
You're entitled to your opinion, same as I am, son. Our disagreeing has nothing to do with you telling the truth the way you saw it. Justice depends on that, son.
All right, Paul.
Do you remember the exact words the defendant used at that time?
Not exactly, Judge, but pretty close. He said, "I'll kill you, you dirty varmint. I'll stay alive just so I can put a bullet through your head."
What do you expect me to say when you strip the skin off my back and rub salt in it?
Restrain yourself, Mr. Goss, not only out of respect for this court, but to protect your own interests. Have you anything else to add?
Only that the colonel was as fine an officer as a man could serve under.
You may step down. Will Mark McCain take the stand, please? And do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Will you sit down, please? Now, Mark, just tell the court what you know in your own words.
Well, I was having my picture taken by Mr. Goss when all of a sudden he yelled at me to duck. Then I took one look toward the hotel and saw Colonel Whiteside standing in the middle of the street. His hands were spread out like this. And he looked ready to draw. So I got out of the way fast.
Did you actually see Colonel Whiteside draw his gun and fire a shot?
No, sir. But what I wanted to say was that, well, I believe that Colonel Whiteside fired at Mr. Goss first. Because like I said, I did see him ready to reach for his gun. And then the second I turned around, I heard the first shot. Well, Mr. Goss couldn't have gotten his gun out by then.
How soon after did you hear the second shot?
Maybe another second or so.
You think you can tell to the second how soon Mr. Goss could get to his gun? And you know that Colonel Whiteside's gun was found in this holster and that it had not been fired.
Yes, sir, but I know Mr. Goss wouldn't murder anybody. He's too nice a man.
Order. Thank you, Mark. You may step down. Now, will Marshal Micah Torrance take the stand, please? Now, Marshal Torrance, will you tell the court, please, where you were when you heard the first shot?
I was in my office checking some wanted posters. I heard one shot, then another one. I went up there as fast as I could, went through the crowd, and found the victim lying there. He was dead.
Then you took the defendant's gun and placed him under arrest.
That's right. The gun was still warm when I got it, and there were 2 empty shells in the chamber.
Have you anything to add to your testimony?
No, sir.
Well, then you may step down.
Say, Judge, something special has come up. I'd like permission to speak with the prisoner for a moment.
Well, do you think the cause of justice will be served by interrupting the trial in this way?
Well, I'm not sure, but it's possible.
Request granted. This court stands in temporary recess.
What's up, Luke? Tell me how to develop those photographic negatives of yours.
First, you dip the plates in a mixture of pyrogallol and acetic acid.
In what?
Pyrogallol and acetic acid. Then when the picture comes out, to fix it, you dip it in a potassium cyanide solution. The stuff's all there in the wagon, plainly labeled.
And now, where did you put the wagon, Mike?
It's a delivery stable. What have you got in mind?
Walk me to the door.
Any luck, Paul?
Well, not yet, son. These all seem to be developed.
Hey, Paul, there's one still in the camera. Must be it.
Yeah, well, let me have it, son. Was it pyrogallic acid? Was it potassium solution?
So I yelled at Mark to get for cover, because I could see Whiteside ready to draw. Then that shot burned past my ear, and I fired back. Next thing I knew, the marshal was taking the gun away from me. But I swear I only fired once, and in self-defense.
Marshal Torrance testified there were 2 empty shells in your gun.
I explained that to him. I was having breakfast at McCain that morning, and I saw...
Judge, before Mr. Goss completes his testimony, I'd like to show the court some vitally important new evidence.
Well, this is out of order. But the court recognizes the seriousness of this case and the importance of all facts bearing on it. You may proceed, Mr. McCain.
Thank you. Judge, my son testified that Mr. Goss took his picture before the shooting. This is the developed negative of that picture. It shows the colonel standing in the street behind my son. It also shows a window in the hotel, which is directly in line with the colonel's back. If you take a close look, you can see a man standing in that window with a rifle. So, Judge, if you'll allow Mr. Goss to develop the picture from this negative, I'm sure we'll all recognize that man.
Nobody move. Don't move.
Hold it. Now get back in there. Come on.
Mr. Jameson, have you anything to say about this behavior of yours?
You can let Goss go. I killed Whiteside. But I can tell you this much. I had good reason to.
We'll hear all about your reasons when I get time to set up a new trial. Meanwhile, you will be held in the marshal's custody. This case is dismissed.
I guess I can't tell you how much I appreciate what you did for me.
Well, don't thank me, thank the boy.
Well, I always knew how he felt about me.
So did I. That's why when he came up with this foolish notion about the picture, I went along with him. I also figured if Mark wouldn't give up after the way they laughed at him in court, I owed it to him to stick out my neck in court, too.
Wish you wasn't sticking your neck out with the proof right there in that negative.
Abel, I'm a rancher, not a photographer. I never did develop that negative.
you.